everybody. I am Daniel. I'm the VP of Product Marketing at Conveyor, and I am super excited today to be here with Andrew Marti.
Thanks, Daniel. Happy to be here. My name is Andrew Marti. I lead our digital solution advisory team for North America, which is based here in Alpharetta, Georgia, with SAP.
We are incredibly excited to have you come join us. I am personally intrigued by your background. You are somebody who has been with SAP for close to 17 years now. I mean, that is impressive, certainly, but also you've seen like the wide range and change of a company. What's the story of Andrew and how did you end up here?
Yeah, we'll do. And actually, it's longer than 17 years. I was with a tiny company that was acquired by a medium-sized company that was acquired by SAP. So in SAP's eyes, this past October is actually 24 years. So my wife is in the recruiting business and she says that I'm a dinosaur in many aspects, but really, why have I stayed at SAP? It's because there's been endless opportunities to innovate and reinvent myself and to help SAP with their own change journey.
All right, let's get on. We're gonna start with our first wing. We're gonna try not to burn our tongues off too much. As a pre-sales leader and high velocity sales, avant-garde, new entrant, what are the things that are keeping you up at night as a coach? What are the things that you're really kind of worried about teaching folks and getting the most out of?
Yeah, there's many things. The key thing is making sure that we are also building relationships with our AEs out there. So not only are we building a new motion, we're changing the culture. And there's a culture out there of, hey, we're gonna have a deep dive discovery, we're gonna build an amazing presentation, and we'll see you in 3 weeks. And a high velocity pre-sales is not gonna work. So we have to train our folks to engage differently, but also train account executives to behave differently. So it's a big, significant cultural transformation that we have to continuously work on.
How was that first wing?
If that's the first one,
we got
my forehead a little bit. Yep.
Yeah, either that one was hotter than maybe it could be that we started on the wrong end, but
might have.
We might have, but burning questions gets a little hot.
Literally burning.
Woo!
Wow, this is just the first one.
Yeah,
Do you have any other napkins?
Yeah, we do. That's why we come prepared. This is why we get into the ice cream at some point. I want to hear and learn a little bit more about high velocity pre-sales. What is it? What's your definition of it? Yep. Why now? What's like kind of driving that need? What are the things that you're bringing as a leader that you think are like going to be huge differentiators for SAP? First of all, before you answer the question, how's the heat on this one?
Not as bad as the second one.
Okay, good.
So far, anyway. So yeah, should have warned you guys. I am a sweater.
That's fine. We'll take it out in post.
Yeah, part of this is this transformation that SAP has gone through. As a classic on-premise ERP company, the velocity of those transactions used to be a lot slower. So maybe there are a few key deals a quarter, and that allowed us the ability as an organization, as pre-sales people, to dive deep with one customer. Daniel, tell me your specific challenges and pains. We're going to have maybe a 3-hour or hell, maybe a 3-day discovery process to really understand that and build that relationship. Then we're going to go away and come back with a killer presentation. That's been a key part of SAP's success for years and years. But as we move to a SaaS model, a cloud ERP approach, you have to move quicker. You don't have that luxury to go and have this deep discoveries. And frankly, customers are not as patient with that as they used to be. They want immediate value. They want to understand, hey, what is that value and benefit of our cloud ERP and our line of business solutions? They want to know that maybe at the first meeting. So our team is really leaning into that concept. How can we come to a meeting and rethink this whole concept of traditional discovery? How can we come to this first meeting with a point of view presentation, which introduces you to the benefit of cloud ERP? How can we do that in the first meeting? And then let's talk about the deltas. What did you not see? What's unique to your business? So it allows us to really accelerate what might have been a 3-week process. Maybe we can turn this around in 3 days.
I think that's really interesting because what I'm hearing is one of the giant value props is speed. And it seems like when the SaaS transition seems to start happening, you want to go even faster, which means you're wanting more from discovery, you're wanting more from research, and you're wanting more from an initial point of view. All right, we're going to go on to our third wing right now.
Okay.
How's our confidence level? Are we feeling confident?
Sure, yeah.
All right, AI is all the rage right now, yeah? Like, there's a lot of hype in it, there's a lot of utility. What are some tools or flows that you're finding, hey, it would be really cool if AI could take over that thing? We want to try new things in that space. What are some ideas that you've had that are circulating?
Well, because we're leaning into standard presentations, it gives us an opportunity to use AI to help us customize it for the customer. What about having AI generate talking points that are specific to a customer? So if we are speaking speaking with Conveyor, you're going to see a presentation related to Cloud ERP for professional services. Before the demo, we're going to do a quick search on Conveyor. Our AI is familiar with the structure of our presentation. It's going to lay out talking points that we can use specifically for that presentation. That's one use case. Another one is, hey, look, maybe you're interested in a microsite with a lot of digital assets. SAP has, as you can guess, probably a lot of content that's spread in a lot of sources all across different portals, some of which have been around for decades. That takes a lot of time to find all that. So we're putting these AI engines on top of these data sources. So we say, look, I want to make a Cloud ERP microsite specific to Conveyor, and then our AI finds that content and assembles it into a microsite that we can turn around maybe in minutes versus days.
Very cool. All right, we're going to do our last wing. I wanted to talk a little bit about what it's like to be a great sales engineer, great pre-sales consultant, and what it's like to take that jump into leadership. What's somebody who's great at the role doing, and what's somebody who's great at the next step in their role doing, and how should they be planning and thinking about that next stage?
Great question. So for an individual solution advisor,
what was this one?
that's pretty hot too.
Okay, I'm doing a little light dab.
So for an individual contributor, I've always coached them to make sure it's a balance between the art and the science of pre-sales. Okay? The science is knowing the technology. In the case of SAP, knowing the business processes. That's fundamental. But don't lose sight of the art. All right? The art is how can you present in a compelling, entertaining way that keeps your customers engaged? How can you incorporate good stories? How can you bring in a sense of humor? How can you surprise your customers? How can you illustrate the impact of these solutions? So it's always been helpful for me to coach solution advisors on that balance between the art and the science. Now, as far as leadership options, I think it's always been valuable for me to, you got to spend time in the business, challenge yourself to look for opportunities outside the business. What are other people doing? What's happening within the industry? What are other innovators doing? How can we push the organization further? I've seen folks who have spent too much time just managing the day-to-day, but you need to make time to look broader and expand to other horizons to challenge the organization to expand and innovate.
I don't know about you, but that one kind of got me pretty good.
Me too. Me too.
I think we're pretty much at the end here.
Thanks for this. This has been fun, Daniel. It's great talking about what we're doing with Digital Solution Advisory and our Digital Hub with SAP. It really is an engine for innovation.
Well, I'm glad we didn't give you too much pain. I see a little bit of a sweat bead
Just a
coming
little,
down.
There's a lot.
Thank you so much for joining
Thanks
and participating. This is always really fun, and we appreciate really getting to learn with leaders who have seen a lot of change and have a lot of advice to impart.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
That one's pretty spicy.
Yeah, the fourth one was.
Do you need like some ice cream or milk or something?
Yeah, maybe a little bit of ice cream. That was, you weren't joking. The first one was surprisingly hot.
This is the most fun part, if I'm being honest with you. This is what makes the drive worth it.
No kidding.